The 1990s was a decade of bold experimentation in television, with networks pushing the boundaries of special effects and CGI, computer-generated imagery. While some shows used CGI to create unforgettable moments, others found themselves with visuals that haven't aged as well. Though the technology of the time was groundbreaking, some 90s shows left us with cringe-worthy visuals that are still remembered today. Here are the top 10 shows from the 90s with the worst CGI. 1. Power Rangers, 1993–1996. Power Rangers became a cultural phenomenon in the 90s, but its CGI effects were often laughable. The show mixed live action with cheesy computer-generated monsters and Zords, giant robots. The special effects, especially during battle sequences, were notorious for their low-budget feel and unrealistic movements, which made the CGI appear even more jarring. 2. The Adventures of Brisco County Jr., 1993–1994. This short-lived sci-fi western series had a lot going for it, including Bruce Campbell's charismatic lead performance. However, the CGI used in several episodes, particularly in the visual effects for the show's more fantastical elements, was ahead of its time in concept but lacked the polish of more refined productions, resulting in awkward, dated visuals. 3. The X-Files, 1993–2002. The X-Files was groundbreaking for its use of horror and mystery, but some of its early episodes featured CGI effects that didn't hold up well. The show relied on special effects to depict aliens, creatures, and otherworldly phenomena. While some effects were effective, others, especially in earlier seasons, looked overly digital, making scenes of alien encounters seem more laughable than scary. 4. Mortal Kombat, Conquest, 1998–1999. Based on the popular video game franchise, Mortal Kombat, Conquest brought the series' famous fighters and brutal battles to the small screen. However, the CGI effects for the various special moves and fight sequences were notoriously poor, often looking cartoonish and out of place. The series' limited budget and reliance on CGI for its action scenes resulted in some truly cringeworthy visuals. 5. Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, 1995–1999. While Hercules, The Legendary Journeys was a cult hit, especially for fans of campy action and mythology, the CGI used to create creatures, mythical monsters, and magical effects often fell short. The low-budget visuals made some scenes feel laughable, especially when compared to the grandeur the story tried to convey. Many of the creature designs were clearly computer-generated and not seamlessly integrated into the live-action scenes. 6. Tales from the Crypt Keeper, 1993–1999. This animated series, based on the Tales from the Crypt horror franchise, featured early CGI sequences that attempted to bring its iconic characters and eerie stories to life. Unfortunately, the show's animation didn't age well, with clunky CGI visuals and stiff character movements that made the animation look dated by the standards of the time. 7. Sequester DSV, 1993–1996. This futuristic underwater series was ambitious in its concept and its use of CGI, but the results were far from polished. The CGI used to depict the underwater city and sea creatures often looked unrealistic and out of place, with jarring transitions between the computer-generated elements and the live-action performances. The special effects were considered subpar even for its time. 8. Star Trek, Voyager, 1995–2001. As part of the Star Trek franchise, Voyager pushed the envelope with CGI effects, especially for its space travel and alien planets. However, many of the show's early CGI sequences, including some of its starships and creatures, appeared overly simplistic and fake compared to what was coming from blockbuster films at the time. Some sequences, particularly in the show's first few seasons, felt like a step backward in visual effects technology. 9. Babylon 5, 1994–1998. Babylon 5 was a pioneer in using CGI for TV, especially for the depiction of space battles, alien ships, and distant planets. While it was groundbreaking for its time, the show's CGI often looked blocky and basic, with noticeable seams in how the digital ships and space stations were integrated into the live-action scenes. Despite its significant contribution to TV sci-fi, the CGI has not aged well. 10. Viper, 1994–1999. This police procedural drama with a high-tech twist featured a car that could transform into a high-tech weapon. While the premise was intriguing, the CGI used to depict the car's transformations and the various tech gadgets often appeared overly fake, especially with the heavy use of matte painting and visible CGI artifacts. While many of the shows listed here were innovative in their use of CGI, they also suffered from the growing pains of an evolving technology. Today, these visuals can evoke a sense of nostalgia, but they also serve as a reminder of how far the world of CGI has come in the last few decades.